Oh, I turn that off. Yes. Hmm.
Oh no, those need washing. I must stepped in a bird pop outside evidently, so I don't think I'm gonna put those slippers on.
Now, if this thing could, you see me? Hey, how you doing, man?
No, I'm just analyzing the tape on the back of your phone that I saved. Oh, so you've re-glued one of those cases and tried to get it to go back rather than just spend your $1. Hey,
This is terrible. Okay.
From China, I buy these cheap cases. They last me about 2 months, but they go all flimsy. So I just buy about 3 at a time.
I live vicariously through your travels, Robert.
Vicariously through us. I think a lot of people live vicariously through other people in general. A lot of people live vicariously through us and our truth lives, I think. Because we've got the activeness. Well, everybody likes to cheer on the guy whose head goes on the block.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay, Barabbas! So they got him off, and somebody else
Yeah,
dies
Barabbas.
instead. All these kind of things. Because there's always somebody, as this with the big gate going up the back, that is not only a hinge on the top to make something tall go in, but a gate in the front. Now that was odd. I stood underneath this thing, and that was visions of guillotines and dumpsters going on over here behind an Asda's. Asda's is like a sister company, or Smart England. Okay.
We were talking about earlier, y'all, anybody listening, he saw some oddities, and people see oddities, but then they'll make them into rumors, and how that ties into some people that we happen to have had run-ins with before. And that brings us to, the Dollar Vigilante for one, and Max Egan and Robert, and I hate to throw Stephen in there, but Stephen D. Kelly. And he was my first interview, Robert, when I first got into this. And the reason I got into it was because I knew buildings couldn't fall like that, because I'm trained to do it. I'm trained to put them up so they don't, right?
Hang on a minute, Max. I think we might pick up an echo problem. I don't have my headphones on.
I'm with you.
Hang on, just...
Yes, sir.
Keep going up.
And that pretty much nails that. Now,
yeah, I know we're going to have a problem.
I'm loving this.
At least I troubleshot
it. If you can see the footage I'm getting, I'm so sorry, Robert.
Hang on, I'll fix this.
This is pretty important, though, y'all. This is what's crazy about it. This is really crazy. Oh. Man, it's been a wild ride, hasn't it?
Yes.
I started in 2013. It's what, 21? A lot of shit's happened. A lot of stuff. Good God Almighty. And what's so funny is I think we've stopped some stuff, actually.
We had to have. I think even Alex Jones might have helped stop something that day. He was talking about the possibility when a senator said something about a nuke could go into Charleston Harbor, and that bringing that to light could have well thwarted the usage of one of the missing nukes of the 5 that were being transported unaccounted for. So it was, I got to agree with you.
The craziest thing I remember, and this sticks in my craw big time, was, okay, I'm watching Fox News in the middle of the afternoon, just happened to turn it on. That was where I went when I did go to news back in the day. And I looked, and there was a tease from the little guy, I forget his name. Anyways, mid-afternoon guy. And there's a tease about shootings in Virginia on the coast at the shipyard. Navy involved and everything that led up to that. And I'm like, what the hell is about to go on? And it came back, nothing. But then I heard on the hotline, yeah, there was an admiral killed. And I knew of an operation that was going on then that was kind of putting a stop to this white hat kind of movement. That, and I want to say Crystal, Admiral Crystal. I don't hold me to that, but he was killed, and it's several others. And they were, because a lot of the directed weaponry, the harmonics and the phasers and the lasers and everything else that they have, it's just a plethora that's just fabulously incredible. It's all 0 point stuff, which means that if they just gave it to humanity, we'd just fall into and left us alone, we'd find a harmonic. That's what people like. They just chill. That's what everybody likes, so I watched it happen, and that tripped me out that they didn't say a word about it, but yet I went here. Then it happened again, and also at the same time, it kicked in. So that's thinking really deep on the other side, bringing that out as a ploy, or that really did happen. And I went looking, and it's amazing. Like when the COVID came out, I looked for DVOC. Well, nobody could find anything on it. My search engine damn sure ain't gonna let me go anywhere. My IP address is locked down. If I don't get it out, it don't get out. Anyways, yeah. I saw that happen. Then I saw a couple other things happen, and I watched how there are people that don't want this shit to go down. And they're in pretty high places, but they got to watch their ass. Number one. Number two, anybody that's got any sense is going to feel out the population. If you're going to make a move like that, you better be sure that those people are ready, right? They're going to go. You might think everybody wants freedom, but they may not. You might want to, and beta test. And I believe that was happening with both sides. And nobody reacted to quite a few things. Nobody gave a damn. Oh, freedom of speech? What the hell is that? We don't need that. What? No. You don't have anything to hide? You got nothing to worry about. What? What earth are you talking about? Pseudonyms, juristic persons, corporate logos. It's all right here in front of us, and nobody's blinking. That's like, you have those that I have experienced that people are literally programmed to trigger at a point when you try to explain the juridical person, the way that they can incorporate a persona and hire an actor to do it. And I mean, by God, if you watch TV, that man's real, and that's his name. But he's not. It's a character.
As trademark at Mickey Mouse, right? And legally can sign autographs in a park. Anybody can put the mask on. How many Donald Trumps have there been? How many Bidens have there been? How many Fauci's have there been? How many's have there been? Yeah, and that's the hard one to get your head around, and that's a big mind blow. That's the big mind blow, because suddenly you've been rooting for somebody who's been portraying the good guy going against the other one. At the end of the game, when they say the stage, oh my God, how we've been duped by the Doopaloopas.
Wow.
The grand poobahs of the world.
You try to tell people there's really no such thing as a king. You know that, right? There's no such a thing as a queen. That's all in your mind. And in a little game they play, that they use a language called legalese. And you don't realize that they're speaking another language. But they literally are. They go to a different dictionary. They use a different styles manual. Everything's different. But even in their own styles manual, when you look at their contracts, which is anything you sign with any government official, anything whatsoever. It's a bond. That's the way it works. It's traded. And yeah, it amazed me when it opened up, when my eyes, when I finally figured out, now wait a damn minute. I created a person. Yes, I did. When I incorporated a small company, I created a person. That person has the same rights and responsibilities as any other legal person. Well, a legal person. Well, he's still on persons. Wait a minute, I'm one of the people. People don't get that. They can't get it through their head that a corporation is a person is a corporation. They're not talking about the flesh and blood person. They're talking about a bond, a bonded person, and you're nothing but a parcel. And they want you to, well, that's what you are. You're in a freaking shipping war. Good God Almighty.
Yeah,
whatever.
it is a word war sometimes. Like you pointed out to me that day that me saying protest didn't carry the same rights or powers as saying I am picketing. And I'm correcting people.
Yeah.
This little differences means the police have to act differently towards you.
Well, here's the thing. If we all wrote one paragraph and we sent it to every one of our so-called representatives, okay? Just every one of them, count from the whatever you're in. If you're in the county up through the state, well, all of them. And you mail them all on the same day. So everybody writes their one paragraph complaint. Everybody signs it, one signature. And we mail them all in one day. They're going to be flooded. There's going to be lines. It's going to take 2 days for us to mail them all. That's how busy it'll be. Just like anything else when it gets crowded. By God, we need gas. Oh, the gas is running low. Everybody's crowded. Everybody crowd. Do you want to crowd? We crowd and do that. So you're in UK, but over here, we have now legally placed a regress that has to be spoken about within a certain 30 days or whatever. Might be 31 and then 2 to let it lay or something like that. That's where you get 30. It's crazy. But there are these rules, regulations, codes, and statutes that you go by in the system we're in. We can use it to do what we want to do, because when we flood them with tractor trailer loads of complaints instead of one petition with 1 million signatures on it, doesn't matter. That doesn't hold any more legally. It's that piece of paper. When you got them stacked to the wall, people pay attention. You got tractor trailer loads of them up there. People pay, and when they don't correct the problem, you can walk in and take that office of emolument, which is an office that the nation, which is the people's, has created so that can serve the people's, this office of emolument, which means that we pay for it. That's our gig, right? And that's our government. Now, that government, we can use it to form a corporation. Well, what have we done? We've formed a person that represents us, just like I've formed a person when I created a little mechanical company. It's the same thing. There's no difference. And or a persona like Trump. Names on the side of buildings. That's because it's not a surname, it's a logos. There are no Trumps. There just isn't. There's not a family called the Trumps. That's all a fairy tale juristic person persona logos. Those are the Drumps they claim, right? Isn't that his last name really? Drump, whatever, Drump? Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Trump.
Yeah, okay.
But in all fairness, as an example, it's a kind of ludicrous, but it's possible. I can go to a courtroom. I can register a Jewish name called Robert M. Deutsch. I can then hire somebody to play me, even go to work for me.
Of course.
All sorts of things legally while I sit at home. I can have that person run for office, do anything because they're playing.
That's correct. That's right. That's how.
You are actually, and because nobody calls it out, they get away with this.
Jesse the Body Ventura became that persona.
Oh.
Okay, now that's a persona.
Yes.
That's a created character for a wrestling ring. And he became, under that character's name, became governor of Minnesota. Well, they're slapping you in the face right there. That's a character. He
And
didn't
led
go
the
in as
truth
James
movement.
Jonas. He did not put James Jonas on the ballot. He
led the truth movement. He exposed the stuff we were already showing. Nothing much new. Same old song and dance. It makes me feel icky inside how I spell
How
that
does he
stuff
go?
today.
But I mean, Jesse the Body becomes. I mean, is that what he signed, Jesse the Body Ventura, or just Jesse Ventura when he was signing law as governor of Minnesota?
Governor Jesse Ventura. Yeah. I used to love to watch wrestling, but at least they admitted it was fake, right? And even to this day, I do find some silly entertainment in watching grown men cut themselves with razor knives while everybody goes, "Oh my God, did you see him? He hit him in blood." That's politics these days. Did you see what the left wing did? Yeah, it banked so the right wing can control the turn. Would you shoot the bird between the eyes? Talking about fuse this league system. Oh, we should do this. Oh, this and that. They'll kill you if you're going to get away with it. And everyone knows, right? When you, like, was it Denzel, you ain't got to pay taxes. He was telling us about this system. Prince told us about this system when he became the artist formerly known as Prince, and he suddenly went by a symbol. I'd like to do that. The person formerly known as Robert, and I would just want a great big cock shooting off. That'll be my symbol, and I can sign it on everything given to me. Why not? If we're going to do this, let's do it right. Big dots on the balls, because this system's fucking. That would be my way of fucking a fact. But you know me, Max. I got that kind of sense of humor. Like having a drum with Fauci and Bill Gates' face on it and banging it. That would give me great pleasure and release dartboards. Come on, people. Aiming your eyebrows at each other is wrong. You love Donald. You love it. I don't love any one of them. How can you love a dead man that you never met? You love the corpse.
It is a dead entity you're talking about. I mean, it's a character. It's literally, it's no more real than a character in a book called Priscilla, the lady, whatever. That's what's crazy about it. These people are literally portraying fictional logos, characters that.
Yes.
And it blows my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. No, they're not even. All right. Good God Almighty. It reminds me of Peter Sellers. Okay, Peter Sellers was a hot throb during that time. Well, what was Peter selling? I'll be right back.
Peters. Okay. I'm just kind of having a little cigarette rolling fest. I'm poor. I buy black market tobacco and I roll my own cigarettes. Just while I talk to people, I often do that.
See, Robert, I think they
I can hit it out of the. I can hit. I'm gonna set you up with the pitch on this one. Look, I'm gonna be honest. They tell us names all the time in their sell stuff subliminally. Gates, he gated us all down, locked us all down. You had Caldera or geoengineering say that we need to mimic volcanic gases for global warming, and you had people that. Even Max Egan, his name, you could rearrange the back of it to say the word gay, like Max Gay. And I have a lot of suspicions about him because of an incident in 2016. I aired time with him. And when it was my turn to talk, he had just previously denied that there were chemtrails over the rainforest when he was directly asked, are they spreading chemtrails over your rainforest? And he said no. And my first deal is with Max. And I was got to tell you, man, I was honored to be on a show with him. I was like, yeah, this is Max Egan. He's been doing a lot of activists for a decade more than me. Well, when he denied chemtrails, my opinion of him just went out the window, right? Come on, dude, look up. You know, he wouldn't cover that right, and he wouldn't cover the fires right. So I started looking at him. I just didn't trust him. I started seeing him winding people up about 2 weeks ago with some information he couldn't prove, just basically say if he was being held down, forced jabbed in a hospital by the nurse. Well, you don't think I don't know nurses in them hospitals? Couldn't he have picked up a phone and asked, like I did? And I went at him. I started going at him. I said, you're diseasing people. You're winding them up. You're doing clickbait. Rumors came out, and these are rumors, of a link over Mexico, over trafficking or muling, if you will, or being a drug trafficker of date rape type drugs between the United States and Mexico and other countries. I got to thinking, how would he get away with that? I started thinking about this guitar he always totes around. But this is just Robert's wascally thoughts. I could prove it. He denied chemtrails to me. When that put my hairs up, I could prove he's winding people up endlessly without fact checking. What was it, about a little less than a year ago when he had this meltdown? Oh, he said he was the one. He's going to set the new matrix. He's like the god. Held up a hand with a swastika on it, and has never told the same story twice about what happened that day when his ascension, when he got beamed, or if he bucked his programming and his monarchism showed up. You know, those triggers that make yourself look bad, the Britney Houstons and things when you try to buck your programming. I think he's a MK Ultra Brisbane monarch. And if we look around, maybe my suspicions might find somebody named Maxine, a cross-dresser, like similar to what Assange was, a cross-dressed monarch kid from Australia as well, a victim of those children things. So I have deep suspicions about Max, who also admitted he does not use his real name in that meltdown video. Remember when that happened?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, I remember when it happened. Oh yeah.
You want to see what Berwick had to say?
It was two comments I made that sent it on a roll.
Look at this. All right, look, I'm going to show you guys something sent to me. Here, let me move my microphone so you can see and hear this. Check this out. I hope you can hear it okay. This was sent to me. Can you see this okay?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Give me a moment. I'll get it back up there.
That's okay.
Do that.
Do your thing.
I will. I'll get this.
We're jamming over here.
I'm
sorry about the
trying
focus,
to flush
y'all.
them out by talking about both of them live like I did last week and saying this allegation. Right? I'm not portraying it as a fact.
Right.
Record this okay now when I hold this up?
It's an allegation. Hang on.
Yeah,
it's an allegation.
My problem is with the chemtrails.
Yeah, I mean, he denied chemtrails. That's pretty ridiculous. Here we go. Best I can do, y'all.
Oh my God. You know, I can't say too much about Max Hagan right now. I'm not going to say anything. He'll know what I mean. Was it a Mitch Hedberg joke? I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too. Yeah, used to be a penal colony. Still is. Who was that? Hunter. I thought.
What in the hell is that all about for Berwick? Right? I got that sent to me a day or so ago, or 2 days ago, and I sent it to you fairly quick to see what you thought about that Pina Colada Hunter, which my research showed that being a corpo. Yeah. John Denver to Steve Irwin. Come on, what's Max playing? Who is he really? And what's up with this drug thing that once you was doing something but I'm still doing it? You're putting up a front and still carrying on. I don't understand what Jeff was alluding to in that, and I'm wanting him to enlighten us further without being elusive. But that's what I was sent. I hope that recording came out okay.
Yeah, have you ever, what do you have to go on other than rumor that they were involved, those two were involved in roofing little girls as they ran roll pills?
It's nothing but rumor mill, mate. That's all we can ever say.
Same here. That's the same here.
That's why I said it as. That's why I very. But so, in a Sun Tzu way, I knew that if I called one out with the other kind of hinted about, Jeff would take the bait and tell, and he fucking did it within a week. No, I mentioned his name on a live video last week. No, it was actually only about 3 days ago. And then this came out.
I did the same thing to Egan in two comments.
He's defending himself in advance. I'm watching a guy defend himself in advance.
Yeah, getting out ahead of the game.
It's kind of. But that's a allegation. That's why I said it like that purely. My problem with Max has always been about the misleading, the gatekeeping, and even standing with that.
Well, we've lost him. Maybe he'll come back. Yeah, 2 comments, and then he went on that was his third to his last. Second to the last was crazy, and then his last was whack. Egan, that is. Go ahead. You're back on. I had lost you there for a little bit.
That was... Yeah, I'm having signal issues here, too. Must be the construction at the stadium.
Yeah, you just dropped off of FB. I mean, I think it's phenomenal that we can sit here and do this. You in Europe, me here, you over there on that island, me over here on the mainland. It just blows my mind that we can do it in real time.
Yeah.
And then come on now. Wait a minute. There's something.
Watch it, Jeff, take the bait.
Okay, so yeah. All right. What happened was, all right, you had that little and coincidence. Is it coincidence? I don't know. But here we go with, all right, I get this rumor. Yeah, I hear about this. The timelines work out. I'm talking to the same people. I'm seeing the same schedules, all this other stuff. And the next thing I know, I get that rumor. And then stealthily, I drop 2 comments in, and boom, the next show was crazy. And then the next show was about some triangle above his head or something. And then it quit, and it was gone. I was like, oh my God, I just took down Max Egan's channel. Did I? No, the rumor did. It lit that fire that quickly. It was right under the surface. All I had to do was throw a rock in that pond, and buddy, it rocked. And it was done. And then you said, this is bam. So, I mean, I've always thought, I've never had a problem saying my real name.
We're seeing things to say.
That's a hell of an allegation to make, without the stuff. And
so
what I'm saying is that
it's something we got to look into because that's why I set it up like that with.
Well, from the get-go, he tells on himself, y'all.
Okay.
You just cut out again. From the get-go, he tells on himself by fibbing about chemtrails. I mean, what are you talking about, man? Come on. It's worldwide. That's what 9/11 was about. Brought the whole world under the battlefield. Then they could open the whole thing up. And then Kamala Harris learns how to damn syntax. And she starts freaking writing that shit. And boom, next thing you know, there's no borders. There are no borders, y'all. Forget it. It's over. Ooh, we got to stop. It's done. It's over. The more, whatever it is, what's that, the Mandela effect? Yeah, that was done with the barcodes, y'all. That's not that hard to do. I mean, there's a certain amount of people that have control over everything. And they just about got it down to 2 damn firms, which would be the Vanguard and the other one will come to mind. And Blackstone. I mean, those 2 firms own what? 95% of all the corporations in the whole world? Well, those are the persons that are doing business. You can't put a person in a cage because it's a written down agreement. It's called a contract under corporation. It's cooperation. Corporation. You can say it a lot of different corpse operation because it's a dead entity. And that's how they operate. That's why you never see anybody go to jail. What are you going to burn the person at a stake? Well, throw the paperwork at the bottom of the stake because that's all it is. Paperwork and video acting. Ready? And it's LARP acting. That's what's true. The minute I saw that catch fire, people started thinking about, wait a minute, LARP acting. Bam, they put a campaign out that got all the kids just a little bit younger than you and I, Robert, just that demographic. Boom, they flooded them with LARP. Oh, we're going to have a LARP acting party. All of a sudden, I'm like, no, whoa, no. See, and there was no way to have a conversation while the fire was hot or while the iron was hot because the kids were absolutely saturated with this stupid shit. Now, oh yeah, this is what it's about. I'm like, no, they're telling you these are these people right here that claim to be a king and queen and that claim. No, it's not. Their contracts are bullshit. I mean, in their styles manual, everything above, you have nothing to do with below. The only place the bank's name is on the paper is at the top. You and whoever your spouse or whoever it is that's signing that with you, or just you're the only person creating that money. It's not money, it's currency. There's no one else creating it. It wasn't there when you walked in the bank. It wasn't there when you left. It's all magic. And it comes with interest paid to a private entity. What? Okay, so yeah, there's another corporation that owns that. What? Well, who the fuck do we owe this money to? Well, that would be us. If what they say is right? It's our money. So we owe ourselves that interest. No. It's all magic. It's persons, which are corporations. A corporation is a person. They told us this. I mean, they found the Supreme Court found it. Well, I mean, they were found to be fraudulent because they don't even follow their own rules and regulations, statutes, codes, styles manual, and dictionary. It's ridiculous. So it's all fraud. Every bit of it is fraud. So what do we do? Are we really going to go into this utopian social credit score? Because that's where we're headed. And if we do that, do we want Klaus Barbie or whatever his name is, that Klaus guy running the show? Or, well, I think of Russell
sometimes, or just get up and leave the theater.
Russell J.
Don't even pull up your seat. Just go.
Russell J. Gould. He's done it. He mathematically syntaxed the contractual language we could use that everyone knows exactly where the book is that you go to for definitions, and exactly where the styles manual is that tells you exactly how it's supposed to be written. Now, if you have those two in your hand and everybody has an equal opportunity to those two books, the contractual language you're using is understood by everyone. There should be no argument. When there's no argument, there's no strife. When there's no strife, there's no war. It's that fucking simple. Why go over? We don't have. It's not that we change our language in that we speak differently from England to here. How the Queen's and American English and all this Southern English slang. No, all that. We're talking contractual. That's it. If you want to know what it says, you can really know. You can't do that now. Number one, they don't follow the manual. Number two, you can't get a hold of the manual, and the dictionaries are changing all the time, and they're called Black's Law. And you have to have volumes and volumes and volumes of them because they change the name and they're changing. Why would they confuse the languages? It causes strife. That's all they want. So Russell did do that. He's done that. It's plain and simple. And look, if you don't want to get stabbed, don't get stabbed. If you don't want to get this, don't get that. You don't have to participate if you don't want to. The whole nine. And he's done it totally legal under their rules, regulations, statute codes, style manuals, and dictionary, mathematically corrected. So I mean, it's fucking genius, is what it is what he's done, and nobody's paying attention. Well, the few that all right, there's a lot of people that did, and they're just laying low because I don't know, man. Some people aren't ready for that shit. Let's just put it that way.
Well, what you're ready for and what you get are two different things. You're going to get that dick shit anyhow. But, at the end of the day, they created this Tower of Babel with different languages so we can never unify when we're building a better society, just to use an example. So what can you do about that? Just be yourself. Don't fall for the bullshit. There are things you can take and learn. You'll get crap until you get to the courtroom. Know it. There's no such Joe Schmo on the street with a badge don't understand common law either. or the difference between admiralty law, or why is there a fringe on that flag and not that one? Most of them couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but the thing
It's true,
is,
though.
the thing is that if, they took our children from us baby boomers, and they taught them shit. They really did. And of course now I don't know. Did you grow up in America?
Yeah. I stayed there for the first 20 years of my life.
Right. So you know.
Born in New Haven, hitchhiked down in Carolinas in my late teens. Never
Cool.
looked back.
Heard that.
Go
Carolina, that's where it's at,
Oh,
isn't it? Man, it used to be pretty here. I used to love the skies. Gorgeous. Not anymore.
Love the smell of getting off the plane, and the loblolly pines will hit you when they open the door on the plane, and that's just the smell of home.
Let me tell you something about growing up in North Carolina without AC. You are not allergic. You're not allergic to anything. Your body is used to it all. It doesn't.
Let me tell you about mosquitoes and peeing on wood piles with copperhead babies. Let me tell you, Australia got the spiders and stuff. North Carolina got their own. They play the fiddle. The fiddleback. We play that too.
Well, hey, let me tell you, there's a big difference between it's amazing.
I miss the mountains and
Charlotte, between Charlotte and up in the mountains. It's just two different places. They're not the same.
High Rock Lake that way.
Yeah, it's different people. Totally different people. It's such a wide range.
The mountain folk are cool.
Huh?
Mountain folk are really cool.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's what's up.
Mountain house.
Well, let me tell you, buddy, they are stuck in their ways. You don't tell them anything. They already know it. And you better know that.
Some women ain't even worth a mountain house to stay with, you know?
Tell you what.
I've visited a lot of mountains. Yeah, what a world. What a week.
It's been crazy, hasn't
It
it?
was really cool working the AC Milan game yesterday. It's thunderous in that kitchen when they scored that first goal. You could feel the whole building shake inside.
Oh, yeah? That's that.
Yeah, it was interesting.
That's that soccer, isn't it?
I'm going to have to wrap up soon.
Is that soccer?
Well, they call that football here, and they call more people in the world call kicking that ball around football than we call football. So I'm going to call it football. Yeah.
Right.
Soccer.
Right.
By American name.
Yeah.
It's football. But that American football is different. Actually, I think a couple of the Gladiator NFL teams are actually going to come to the stadium here, so I might get to work one of those games too.
Cool.
Might as well get paid by them while they're wiping out my internet signal. Every time I got an event, I got no. I can't do this work. I can't do nothing.
Here
So
they
at least
usually
I'm making
use
some money off.
they usually use youth team sponsors to run those concessions. Here, that's how they
It's
do
all
it here.
agency.
I'm sorry.
It's all agency workers.
Oh yeah.
I work for an agency that'll
Right.
say, "Do you want to come work at this
Right.
stadium? Do I want to go over to Goodison? Because I could go work a Manchester United game if I want to.
Right. Whereas here
I
it's
probably will just to see their kitchen.
Whereas here it's mainly youth groups that run the each stand, and they get the profit
There's always
from
charities.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, Keenan Stadium, Boy Scouts would have a thing. They have their badge. They're selling hot dogs or the programs.
Right.
I used to sell programs at the UNC games.
Heck yeah.
That was great money doing that on the weekend.
USC.
Programs, get your game day programs. I got the whole spiel down. It's good Barker. On the news a few times on football weekend lunch, filming me just doing my barking.
So your report from over there in the big leagues right there. Your report is that it's calming down. There's not a whole lot of. Seems like the parasails are coming down.
Yeah. I hear the narrative and how they're not going to make the vaccine passport mandatory to go into venues. Things are going to be people's choices. There's a tablet that's going to come out to treat the COVID experience that people go going through, right? That's what I'm going to call it, and I can nitpick it down. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm watching, even hearing narrative on news channels or when I'm flipping through around them, saying people that choose not to wear a mask right now, it's up to them. Anybody that wants to be vaccinated may or may not leave. It's not mandated. Certain fields of work it is, but like I said to you earlier, that one we have got to blend in. We've got to realize that body snatchers is going on.
Yeah.
And that we need to be. We could
Cunning.
become Donald Sutherland in the end. How long can you hold out? Can you get the people around you not to point at you first?
Yeah, that's well put.
And so I very successfully have done that.
Well put, Robert. That's good advice.
Yeah, make it a game if it raises your vibe. Lean over and go, after you say I don't have to tell my medical history
Oh,
to
yeah.
you.
Yeah. But
my
here's
choice.
the
Lean in
gig.
and go,
Here's the gig, yeah.
Just between me and you. I'm not taking that booster. And just lie. Oh, I felt bad after the first one. I went into symptoms off spots on my leg.
Well, now you pointed out earlier that
I
that's
thought
not
I was
exactly
going to
right.
die. I did. I said I thought I was going to die. Why do I get like this? Thank God it came back.
Yeah, but you
No,
have
man,
been. But you're not lying all the way. I mean, because you have been. Yeah, we'll leave it at that,
Well,
right?
I have vaccine,
Yeah,
and I'm not being
we'll
specific, but
yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I'm also
As I stare
hearing
out
their
of a
damage
field of
stories
poppies.
when I do this, and I'm off the radar, man. I'm totally off their radar. Well, the one guy that says I'm not doing that, they're remembering that one. Even wearing some of our shirts right now might not be wise in some situations. But I'm a ballsy guy. Come on, try to stop Robert Deutsch's free speech. I know Facebook is an agreed upon platform they can pull out money. Now, you don't have a right to speak on Facebook. It's a private club. But I got every right to stand on that sidewalk with my pitchfork, as long as I'm not a danger to anybody with my big
With my pitchfork.
I'm sure y'all want to see what you haven't seen this, have you? Well, hang on a minute, I'll show you my pitchfork. I told you, pitchforks and torches.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're on the island for it, that's for sure.
A walking stick, and it says, it's my picketing sign. And on this side it says,
Yeah, that's
you.
right. Did you use that whole jar of jam?
Times, man. Time is a time. It doesn't fit too good. I can't hear you because I got headphones on. I thought you might find that interesting.
What kind of jam did you use? Was it jam, jelly, or preserves?
I didn't put that mask on it. Somebody else did when we were picketing on the main road down by Liverpool docks, where every day about 5,000 cars sit in traffic for about an hour. It is random.
Had a captive audience.
Oh gosh, sometimes you get glared, but most people hard honking, yeah, and it's very empowering. I've walked through the town center with that. It just
Now,
UK government, hear my voice. Where there's risk, there must be choice. Things you would say in a protest.
Okay.
And you ask anybody to give me a cadence. If they say they were a protester, come on, let's hear. What did you shout? You'll remember your whole life. That's one of my favorite ones.
I've never picketed. I've never actually done that. Ever.
My soles have worn thin, mate. I've walked through, Brisbane, Dublin, London. I've done much in America. Why? Because you got Dane Wigginton over there to distract everybody. So I just leave y'all to it. You got so many gatekeepers over here.
He's a Rothschild. He's a Rothschild. He's a Rothschild plant. He's a Rothschild.
I know.
He's bought in hook, line, and sinker all the way in, just completely. Oh, God, he's sick. He's a sick boy. And so many people go to him, and he just keeps them going in a circle. That's what that paddock's for. That's paddocks for the restless, and they just keep them going in a circle. They never find.
We always hear us say, I'm doing this because my solar panels wasn't giving me enough savings.
Yeah.
He never said he started doing this to save the world. That man's a multi-millionaire. He's making a buck off carbon capture, believe me.
Certainly, yes. I mean, he's in tight with, well, the Rothschilds own all our electric, all of it, everything north, south. I don't know how they're doing down south border. I don't know. I know there is no border down there. I get that report from a friend that's down on the line. He's right down there on the line. He said there are no border. No, it's just not happening. Border's wide open. There are no borders. I keep telling you that. There are no. It's been written in. It's done. It's crazy what they've done. That's
you ready for your Romero, folks?
Yeah, something. It's coming. Well, you'll have to have the jab if you want your $15 an hour, and they'll relieve all your debt. Just whatever you can scrounge is yours. Until they take it from you. It's the way it's coming. Social credit. It's coming. I think it's going to come down hard on us. It's looking that way over here. It's ridiculous.
Test in Canada with it, ain't they, with the internet passport? But like I said before, many times, the Trans-Pacific Partnership is demanding Chinese internet protocols. And part of Chinese internet protocols is
that's part of the 10 kingdoms of the 7 kings and the 10 kingdoms. It's exactly what that is. Will.i.am is over there.
They use prophecy, don't they?
Will.i.am is coming. Will rule. The sun will not fall on the British Empire, and the redheaded king from the north will be Harry. Harry's the redheaded king of the north in prophecy. That's exactly what they've got him bloodline. Those boys were done in test tubes. They were literally they are whatever you want to call them. They're designer boys. And she never carried on one of them. She wasn't a brood maid. She represented the Stuart, I think, or was it Stuart or Stevens, one or the other. And that's the Scottish side. And it's all. And you also got the Mary Magdalene bloodline in there. They like to say it that way because they don't want to stir up trouble that they're talking about Jesus' wife, his bloodline, and the whole nine. It's all tied in there. You got Rochelle Linney, that's with an A, Rochelle Linney, Linney. She ran off to the French Alps because she's got some of the best Mary Magdalene bloodline, and they're stealing baby. That was where the little girl that was kidnapped in Portugal, I think it was, with the funny eye.
Madeleine McCann.
Thank you very much. All that's tied into it. That's Rachel Linney's. That's all that. It's all about genetics. It's all about bloodlines. All about and being able to prove that genetically down the line and bringing those bloodlines together. That's the time. When the queen stepped back. When the queen stepped back, I call her the queen. When that lady that plays she's a juristic person. She's not real. She's a regular person when she's not playing that role. Honestly, she's evil as hell, but whatever. Lives in a catacomb probably. Anyways, when she stepped back and motioned Trump out front, that was the day that was it's the pivot east. What they call it.
Nah. He's not. I'm going to read that into that. He's not the first president or somebody to break protocol with the Queen.
No. Nobody broke protocol. Nobody broke protocol. No. It was symbolic. See, this. Everything is choreographed perfectly. That's the way it's LARP acting, literally.
Well, that's what the Q people said.
And when it was. But you have to understand where he's coming from. He's coming out of Jerusalem, the third temple. He's not. God almighty. MAGA is a play on words for a jinn, a genie. And if you look at, wait a minute, what do they call him? They call him a MAGA, I believe it is, in Persia. And, who's Persian? Melania. I mean, she runs around with this bun on the back of her head. She's got that bun on the back of her head that gives her that Egyptian elongate look, and then she's been tucked so many times it's crazy. Back in the day, you used to be able to get real early footage of her when she was a young model, and I mean, I don't even know if it's the same person. There you go. No shit, it's crazy what they've done. And I mean, they've admitted, and it's been a while. Well, look, they showed us a female sheep, called it Dolly, and said it was the first. Well, but it's a ewe. They're showing you, a ewe. It's a ewe. EWE is a ewe. It's you. That's what. It's mockery. They've been doing it forever. Now with CRISPR, they can do any fucking thing they want. And you look at Roger Spur. I mean, he can get blood from a rock. Yes, he can. It's that easy because that's what they are. We live on the damn carcasses of Titan. It's freaking crazy. And there's a frozen up there. Okay, now if there's a frozen damn furry mammoth up there, well then by God we have one walking. I don't know where they got it. I don't know. Illumina. All right, why is this big old island in the middle of the Indian Ocean up until 100 years on every map, and then boom, it goes away? Where the hell did that island go? And there's no air flight over that part of the Indian Ocean. Oh, everybody's worried about Diego Garcia, I believe. That's just a little piece of shit island. And we got one runway on. No, where the hell did that island go? There's all kinds, so many anomalies. It's crazy. I mean, you look at so many of the what do you call it, old maps, and they got 4 continents coming out of the North Pole. 4 continents, and they talk about them and name them, everything. And it's supposed to be tempered water, and well, you know, the sea lane or whatever it is, the Gulf Coast or Gulf Stream, that's it, goes up by the island where you're at, and that keeps y'all warm, tempered. It's just crazy. Then we find out, well, look, goddamn, no wonder there's seashells on top of those fjords or whatever they call them. Not a fjord, but those big plateaus out in Monument Valley and stuff. There's seashells up there. Well, those degrade pretty quick in the sun, y'all. So that couldn't have been that long ago. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of years, not thousands.
Can last under the correct conditions.
Say that again?
Under the correct conditions, some seashells can last a long time when they opalize, they almost metamorphosize.
They can last different. A good long time, but with the wind and the rains and well, not a lot of rain there, but yeah, no, and the sun beating down out in the desert, they're not lasting. Not seashells, not long.
I've been coming up with a very interesting theory.
I'm just talking about timelines. It's so damn obvious. We got pictures from the early 1800s. Of these magnificent buildings. Cities built out beyond belief with these gorgeous buildings. I'm sitting here looking at, I think it's King's Causeway. Now I do know that is the cross-section of a damn tendon of a Titan. No wonder everything's...
Yeah, you talk about Giants Causeway. I am seeing giants. But you're well aware of that kind of mapping work I'm doing right now with the alternative timeline history of this planet?
Yeah.
And I see a time when insects ruled this planet.
I don't doubt it.
Flying things that were the largest one how big do you want to get? The 5,000 plus mile one that nearly goes the entire way around the known map? Or do you want to go with the smaller ones, 58 and 150 miles long? Some of these things I'm finding fossilized on just plain old maps, and I'm seeing some of the exact same fossils on the moon. This is showing me that they're not atmospheric. They maybe exoskeleton things don't need spacesuits. Maybe I have to think about life in a way that I never did. But yeah, it's like you said, you know, we got to examine everything. I'm very interested to hear more about these buildings. So if you could send me some information. I'm going to have to jet here soon. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm fixing my screen. I'm not having a good time. I dropped my phone and I have to replace the glass screen, and a piece of tobacco got on the bottom.
Paul Cook.
And I'm really picky.
Paul
if you
Cook
put
has
one
been
of
doing
these-
a lot of good work lately on.
protecting my phone, it's so important.
Right.
It's what I record all my videos on
Sure.
when I'm out and about.
I can
But
dig
when
it.
you put one of these glasses on the front,
Huh?
when you drop your phone, the glass will crack
Right.
instead of your phone. And I dropped and cracked mine the other day. And that usually means it's time for me to replace my worn out case.
There it is.
So I'm doing both. Well, I always buy them like by two at a time. So it's not the best job I've ever done to protect my screen. Matter of fact, I'm so dissatisfied, I'm going to have to throw this glass out. It won't stick right. I am unhappy, mate.
So, getting back to that timeline. It's so simple.
Here we go.
That's so simple. When you stand back and look at the Tartarian movement, right? Are you familiar with that? Okay.
I'm so familiar with debunking that movement, I'm sick of it.
Okay, I understand.
When I actually talk to steel workers whose grandfathers, they'll show me pictures of the buildings.
Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah, okay, yeah, I understand.
This is one of those topics, mate. It's just
I understand.
Trigger me to bile. I'm thinking, these people don't even understand the progression of weaponry and why a star fort came to be because of cannons. They don't get it. How I've been in the top of the cathedrals built in the 1100s, and they still got the things inside the roofs that brought this stuff up. And that stuff ain't all solid up there. It's like plaster and lattice boards. And I'm looking all around. I can see the pins in the timber. I was like, yeah, people could have made this. Yeah, but they'll show me the Chicago World's Fair, which was to showcase two things: electric light and steel fabricated structure. How quick can we build a city with steel? And getting the workers in Chicago away from the meat houses to pay them was well documented. And there was also a race between Tesla and Edison, who was going to get the contract for Niagara. So people don't get how quick they can build these things. It has to be Tartarian because it got a tall doorway. No, actually, the giants I'm seeing are miles tall. That doorway wouldn't even fit their big toe. Right? That ain't a giant guy holding up a rock and look like a freaking duck head. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You're more correct. You're more correct saying that's a cross section of a tangent. I've been very accurate. The Giants Causeway. Well seen, Max. You know.
Okay. I'm well aware of how quickly we can throw up buildings. I used to do it for a living. That's what brought me here. Was being that I know how to build high rises, stadiums, arenas. Anyways, all right, you can't get away from the mud flood. There are obvious dig outs and there are obvious burials and there are, that's big. Hang on a minute. For that much soot or that much silt or that much mud to flow over such an enormous area is phenomenal. Number one. Number two, now we're talking about long before the steel mills and this, that, and the other were ever documented that you're referring to. And we're talking about a time before that, we're supposed to, horse and buggy did all this. That's what I'm talking about. And you get into the how ornate some of these buildings were and the old tech that was obviously, wait a minute, what the hell? We're not supposed to have that, but there's wires everywhere. What are they doing?
I used to think that was
okay. Right. My point I'm trying to get to is I want you to look at a 360 year. There's a reason we split a circle into that degree, 360 degrees. It's because a circle is a cycle and a cycle is a circle. And if we look into the 360 cycle, it's, hot damn, it lays over everything along with the 70th 100-year jubilees. 70th 100-year jubilee. What? That's a 7,000-year jubilee we just went through. Are you kidding me? Well, no wonder we're having a great reset. Usury. That runs us back into usury. Where does that come from?
That's just...
it's crazy.
Like I said, my research is looking different. It's changed my opinion about stuff. It's changed my opinion. I've gone through my maps, actually, and re-looked at every pin I dropped. And my opinion is mistaken. There was an insectoid race, is what I'm seeing on this planet, similar to ants. A lot of this stuff is very centralized and specific upon the creatures, the giants that we're seeing, that they fed upon.
What did
I'm working on a doco on this that I'm going to be able to present it all in. But
yeah.
I'm going to have to jet.
But the Hopi said that it was the ant.
Getting 1:30. I've got to go to a pharmacy.
Right?
And a store
Did the Hopi not say that it was the ant people? The Hopis said it was the ant people. They said it was ant people.
I think it's very accurate, and they're usually between a half a mile and 2 miles long, and I haven't found many that were bigger than that. And I can see a lot of the runnel hills as their tubes, and when they run down a valley, you see they built that to go down there to eat something. You can see the shapes of it. Oh my God, the map I'm putting together now is showing me there was no mud flood. They brought dirt up that hardened like mud, and even its runoff will look muddy. And I'm finding it's specific.
Okay, all right.
It blowed my mind, mate. It did. I had to go back and re-look at all my old research. And then wait a minute. The Glass House Mountain were stump. They just looked like huge termite houses that they cut the tops off of. Because I went and looked at insects. How do they house themselves? What's the biggest termite mine? What do they look like when you fill them up with stuff? How big are they? And that's what I'm seeing on the lay of the land. And it's showing me something. Had to come from underneath, and they brought it up like anthills. And I think they're still there. And we pissed them off. They're coming back up, and they're fucking out. Yeah, I have more concerns than Bill Gates right now. One is just showing up and not happy with it.
The abominations that we're going to see are going to be incredible. The mental look for death and can't find it. That's, yeah. I mean, they're going by the books. So all you got to do is read those, and they'll tell you where we're going. Pretty crazy. Pretty freaking crazy.
Lots of theories out there, but at the end of the day, I think we just have to confront what's in front of us in this 3D reality we got now, so we can all sit around a campfire and talk about all this this cool stuff. Because I'll go on endlessly. We'll go.
I'm pretty much getting ready to retire. I can feel that. I'm about done.
Nah, I'll never retire.
I'll never. No, you can't. Being a plumber's the same way.
Anymore, you go, I'm going to take a night off from baseball, all this stuff. Can you even shut off watching a movie? I can't. I can't even shut off looking at the sky at night. I'll be thinking about things.
I was talking about a lot more than that. No.
But anyways,
being somebody that can fix a lot of things around the house, it's like being a doctor. You can't retire. People know that you're good. And, hey, will you come fix my
mechanic? Yeah, you don't walk up a doctor in a restaurant, drop trout, and say, "Hey, what do you think of this boil?" Right, but they'll ask us stuff all the time.
Yeah. No shit.
I want to do that.
All right, Bubba, I'm gonna get off of here.
Yeah, get my stuff out. I got my battery pack. See, that's what I usually use. One of them on my
back. Enjoy yourself. What time is it there?
Yeah. It's 1:20. It's 1324 on 16th day, 9th month, 2021. I'll give you my voice.
It's
big love, people.
8:24 here.
Digging into this thing. Let's keep digging into this allegations.
Yes.
Into this chemtrail denier.
Yeah. Well, we'll just chase him off another platform again. He's got,
I don't know. He deletes his accounts every time he steps in shit.
Listen.
But it never cleans your shoes.
I do not point anyone in his direction. That's for sure. It's good talking to you, Robert.
I don't trash till I'm asked about. I give my own opinion, and I keep it based on fact, and at least I'll use the word.
I love that scenario that you have, that hypothesis of the ants. They were the ant people. I mean, the Hopis did say that. They were ant people.
At some of my videos. Go through my videos I've been posting.
Right.
Some of my, they're actually on Facebook Lives where I'm going over my maps and showing you guys what I'm thinking.
Right.
But it's I call it my imaginarium. Right. Let's keep ourselves firmly out of the loony bin.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm being very compelling, and I haven't found a stump yet. The only one I'm still having trouble with is Devil's Tower, but the tendon, it makes a lot more sense to me that maybe there's something buried under there, but because of erosion or buildings or things I can't see it, or what the ants did. They ate it really well. I don't know. Ants and bees. I see eat bees as well. They
Well-
eat honey. But it's a wascally thought, so when I put together the doco, I'll try to keep it under an hour and a half, but I need my computer to do it. I've already done the filming of things.
It's been good talking to you, Bubba.
All right, it's been a pleasure. Talk to you soon. Big love.
Okay, buddy. See you, man.